sponsored by Sam's Fine Jewelry. Going at second base is number 11, Camden Hutton. Left fielder number 14, Brittany Apfelder. Number 6 in center is Lily Delmain. First baseman number 26, Aubrey Shore. Catching is number 7, Gracie Luna. The third baseman is number 10, Sydney Miles. The shortstop is number 23, Addie Martini. And the right fielder is number 12, Madison Winkler. And once again, your starting pitcher for the Red Hawks is number 9, Maddie Carney.
Hello and welcome at SEMO. You're watching Ohio Valley Conference Softball on ESPN+. My name is Kyler Messenger, coming to you live from the Southeast Softball Complex in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. You're watching the 1-seeded Eastern Illinois Panthers take on the 4-seeded Southeast Missouri State Redhawks. And we are underway right now. Maddie Carney on the mound for the Redhawks. Lizzie Stiverson batting for the Panthers. She did not bat leadoff yesterday. They do have a new kind of batting lineup. If you were not with us yesterday, today's a little bit cooler, as you see on field right now. It was in the 80s yesterday, today in the 70s. Currently 73 with the winds reaching up to 14 miles per hour. So you'll have to watch that ball in the outfield. Let's focus on the count right now. It's Stiverson facing Maddie Carney. Stiverson gets a piece of this softball. It's in the deep right center field. Lily Delmain, no, she did not. What a catch to start this ball game off. The freshman Delmain put it on Main Street. She would have even still caught it. Lily Delmain covering all the ground in the world. We're going to have to take a look at this. Stiverson takes this ball, Oppo Taco, and Lily Delmain steals a hit, steals extra bases. She steals Lizzie Stiverson's lead off at bat. Wow, you got to love to see that if you're Maddie Carney, the junior from St. Louis pitching. You got your defense behind you. Lily Delmain, what a start to the game. Up next right now is Alicia Frederick. I mean, seriously, what a start. This SEMO Redhawks team, if you've been familiar with it all season, typically, and I'm talking about 2-3 weekends ago, typically they were starting Winkler at center field, but Lily Delmain, the freshman, has been playing so well offensively, so well defensively, as you just saw her on that last at-bat, that she's moved into center field on the latter half of this season. Winkler has moved over to right. In the outfield for the rest of the Redhawks, it's Brittany Afalter in left. The infield has Sydney Miles at third, Addie Martini at short, and this softball off of the bat of Frederick is going to go right over Addie Martini there at shortstop. To call out the rest of the Redhawks lineup, it's Camden Hutton at second base, Aubrey Shore over at first, Gracie Luna getting the start behind the plate, and then when SEMO gets to bat, they'll have Reagan Brannon as their extra hitter. Over on the Panthers side of the ball, you got Alicia Frederick on first base, and you got none other than Abby Hatton up to bat right now. Abby Hatton up to bat. You saw her yesterday. Once again, if you're just joining us for the first time this weekend, 2 very good softball games yesterday. SEMO won the first match 9-8, and it was a walk-off that got them the win. It was off the bat of Lily Delmain. She actually hit it to EIU's shortstop, Chloe Wambolt, and Wambolt had a great defensive effort to field the ball, but she misplaced the throw. It went over the head of Abby Hatton at first base, who rips this softball under the glove of Addie Martini. So Maddie Carney gives up 2 base runners here, Frederick at second, Abby Hatton at first. What we were just talking about was the first game yesterday, which SEMO won 9-8. It ended in walk-off fashion. Wambolt, the shortstop for EIU, overthrew the first basewoman, Abby Hatton, and which allowed SEMO to score 2 runs, one of those being the 9th run, which walked them off. Up right now is Sophia Ullman, EIU starting catcher. She's their cleanup hitter. Yesterday also hit a home run. Their 3 and 4 hitters both hit a home run. Abby Hatton hit a 3-run shot, whereas Sophia Ullman hit a solo shot. Maddie Carney, the pitcher who's pitching right now, also pitched in that game. She actually started SEMO's 9-8 game. She ended up not earning the win in the game. It was Summer Branch who earned the win, but it was not Summer Branch who earned the win. She got the win in the second game as the third pitch of this at-bat is in for a ball. So it'll be a 2-2 count now for Sophia Ullman. Yesterday, it was Kearney who got the win, so I was misspoken. I do apologize. Kearney started the game. She pitched the first 3 innings, did give up that home run to Abby Hatton as Ullman rips this softball into center field, but it goes right to Lily Delmain. And if we could get another look at Lily Delmain's catch from earlier in this game, you know she's going to catch that. She's been so good in center field already. Up next will be Mo Hance coming up to bat for the Panthers. We're going to take a quick look at this replay from Lily Delmain with the catch earlier. Here she is laying it all out. You see Madison Winkler in right jumping up, getting hype. How could you not be hype about that? 2 outs here for SEMO. A grounder by Mo Hance is going to be fielded by Addie Martini. Hance, a fast runner, able to beat it out. So EIU here in the top of the first will have the bases loaded. 2 outs, and Brooklyn Groppel will be up to bat. So Maddie Kearney yesterday, when SEMO won 9-8, pitches the first 3 innings, gives up a home run to Abby Hatton. She gets pulled in the 4th. Willow Van Haren comes in the 4th. Then Summer Branch also got in that game. Maddie Kearney comes back into the game in the 7th. She closes the 7th inning, holds EIU scoreless at 8 runs in the 7th. SEMO was down 8-6 at the time that Kearney was pitching, but then in the bottom of the 7th, SEMO ended up scoring 3 runs and earning themselves that walk-off. So Kearney earned herself the win. Honestly, kind of a save as well. Not a save situation because they were down when she was pitching, but she did so well yesterday, they decided to bring her back and start her again today. Brooklyn Groppel up to bat for the Panthers. She did not get a single at-bat yesterday. This is her first at-bat here against SEMO, and it is now a 1-2 count to Groppel. Bases loaded, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Maddie Kearney hoping to get out of here. Groppel swings, and Maddie Kearney's going to do just that. SEMO loads the bases and leaves them out there. SEMO 0, Eastern Illinois 0. We'll see you in the bottom of the first. You're watching OVC Softball on ESPN+.
Energy needs may change with the seasons, but saving money makes sense all year. With CenterPoint Energy's efficiency programs, it's easy. Home energy assessments help spot ways to save. Rebates can lower heating, cooling equipment costs. And our online marketplace delivers energy-saving products to your door, electric and gas savings, all from your local energy provider. See how you can save this winter by going to centerpointenergy.com/smart savings.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
Member FDIC. Are you ready to take your money to new heights? Get a flexible high-yield checking account that lets you customize your interest rate so you can keep your finances headed in the right direction. With Elevate Checking from United Fidelity Bank, you're in control of how much you earn. You can raise your rate with a few easy steps. Get more ways to earn more with Elevate Checking and start earning 4.00% APY. Learn more at unitedfidelity.com/elevate or visit your local banking center.
And we are back here at the Southeast Softball Complex. You're looking at Carly McKenzie on the bump right now for the Panthers. For SEMO, it'll be Camden Hutton, followed by Brittany Afalter, Lily Delmain in the hole, Aubrey Shore at the cleanup spot, followed by Gracie Luna, Sydney Miles, Reagan Brandon, Addie Martini, and Madison Winkler at that 9-hole spot. Hutton's first pitch will be in there for a strike. So we talked about the first game yesterday in which SEMO won 9-8 in the doubleheader matchup. Maddie Kearney, the starting pitcher for SEMO, ended up starting that game. Well, starting pitcher today, Carly McKenzie for Eastern Illinois, also started the first game yesterday against SEMO as Hutton rips the second pitch that she sees foul. What did the pitcher Carly McKenzie do yesterday against SEMO when she pitched? Well, she went 4.2 innings. And that .2, it might be confusing if you're a math head. Why did she go 4.2? Well, if you're a baseball, softball head, you know that means she went 4 innings and recorded 2 outs after those full 4 innings, and then she was relieved by Brianna French. So Hutton rips this softball foul. It's going over the head, and it won't go over the head. Lily Stiverson makes the play over in foul territory. Both of these teams making effort plays early in the first. It started with Lily Delmain in center for the Redhawks. Now Lizzie Stiverson at third base for Eastern Illinois. Following suit, 1 out recorded. Camden Hutton pops out to the third basewoman. Now that brings up the lefty, Brittany Affolter. It's a delivery from McKenzie. Affolter swings. She's going to ground it over to first base. It's fielded by Hatton. Affolter beats out the throw, and Brittany Affolter will be the first base runner for SEMO due to an infield single. Carly McKenzie pitched 4.2 innings yesterday in the first match. She allowed 7 hits. She only allowed 3 runs. SEMO ended up winning 9-8. They scored 6 runs on Brianna French in the first match yesterday. Only scored 3 against McKenzie, and only 2 of them were earned. She struck out 4, and she walked 1. Carly McKenzie, something she did so well yesterday was cause SEMO to pop out. Yesterday, McKenzie caused SEMO to fly out 8 times. She didn't cause a single ground out. 8 flyouts. I just think that's pretty crazy. SEMO was popping the ball up a lot yesterday. That has to be the game plan for Lily Delmain as she's up to bat right now. Stay on top of the ball. And here's going to be a steal from Camden Hutton. She gets to second successfully. The throw goes into center field, but it won't be deep enough for Hutton to advance again, so she will stay at second. And I said Hutton. I do apologize. It's Brittany Affolter on first. We saw Hutton have that foul fly out to Lizzie Stiverson. She was the leadoff hitter for SEMO. Affolter then hit on. She grounded to first base, and she beat out the toss from the first basewoman to the second basewoman, Maddox, who was covering the base. Affolter now steals second. And we got Dan Paulson talking to the umpire for some sort of clarification here as we'll take a look at the steal from Affolter. Good jump. The throw just a bit off target. I'd like to focus on Dan Paulson talking to the official right now. Dan Paulson and co-head coach Christy Paulson, his wife. There's 2 co-head coaches for the EIU Panthers. Yesterday, we saw Paulson talk to the umpires at least 3 separate times. The man likes to talk to the umpires, and that's not a bad thing. He's a very good coach, very analytical. He knows the rules of the game. He just wants to make sure that the umpires know the rules as much as he does, that these girls get a fair fight. So you see Paulson talking to Blue, or the umpire behind home plate, probably going to happen again. Just one of those sites that we'll probably talk about more. Lily Delmain faces a 2-1 count now. Here's the delivery from McKenzie. Delmain swings and rips it, but pulls it just a little bit too much. It'll now be 2-2 to Delmain, who had that amazing grab in center field to start this game off. I mean, sometimes you wonder, maybe a team starts off slow. Maybe they just weren't woken up this morning at noon. They needed a couple innings to get it going. No, Lily Delmain was here diving in the first batter of the game. She was ready to play. Delmain fouls the pitch off again. Still a 2-2 count. Carly McKenzie pitching, a 6-foot senior from Cottage Grove, Wisconsin. Originally went to Kaskaskia College, which is in Wisconsin. She went there for JUCO, Kaskaskia College. She played there in 2023 at Kaskaskia, had a 23-3 record. 6 pitch of the at-bat to Delmain will be a ball. Now a full count to Lily Delmain. So Carly McKenzie on the mound right now, played JUCO just a few years ago. She's now here in her 3rd and final season at Eastern Illinois, her senior year campaign. Last year as a junior, as the full count for Delmain is ripped into left field. It's going to be a bloop single for Lily Delmain. Brittany Affolter advances to third. Delmain was able to place that softball perfectly in between the shortstop Wamble and the left fielder Brooklyn Gropp. Grapple, and it just was in a weird spot where nobody on the Panthers was able to get to it. So now you got a runner in scoring position, Lily Delmain on first, and it brings up our player to watch today for the Redhawks, Aubrey Shore. Those stats that you're seeing on screen come because she's the player to watch, and those are the stats from the second game yesterday. Aubrey Shore in the second game in which SEMO won 4-3 went 2 for 2 and had 2 RBIs. She went 2 for 2 because she also walked, but in her 2 at-bats in which she didn't walk, she got 2 hits and 2 RBIs. When she was on base, she also scored one of SEMO's runs, so she was a part of 2 of them by RBI. She scored one of them. SEMO only scored 4 runs, so one of those runs was due to Reagan Brannon, who hit a home run. We'll talk about that more when she comes up to bat. Here's that 1-0 delivery to Shore, who squares up the bunt. We're now going to see a little infield throw by the catcher, Sophia Ullman. We saw her bobble it. She threw it to shortstop, though. They wanted to see what Brittany Afalter was going to do at third base. Lily Delmain steals second. So now SEMO, with 1 out in the bottom of the first, has 2 runners in scoring position. Aubrey Shore did lay down the bunt on the last pitch. We'll now have time called by the field of the Panthers. Carly McKenzie about to step back on the rubber and get back to it. Aubrey Shore, the former OVC Player of the Year, 2026 OVC Player to watch. Here's the 1-0 delivery from McKenzie. Shore swings hard and just misses it. It'll now be a 1-1 count. Brittany Afalter on third for the Redhawks. Lily Delmain on second. In the field for the Panthers, you got Lizzie Stuyvesant at third base, Chloe Wample at short, Maddox Marshall at second, Abby Hatton at first, and Sophia Ullman catching behind the plate. Aubrey Shore sees the high heat, something that Carly McKenzie does so well. That's one of her go-to pitches, is the high heat. She got lots of players to swing on it yesterday. Brooklyn Grapple in left for the Panthers. The rest of the outfield is Maribeth Dyson in center and Alicia Frederick in right. Obviously, Carly McKenzie throwing as Shore fouls this softball off. It'll now be the second straight batter that has faced a full count. Aubrey Shore looking to do what Lily Delmain did when she got on base. We'll just have to wait and see what Shore decides to do here. Full count, 2 runners in scoring position, 1 out. Here's the delivery from McKenzie. And Shore pieces this softball into left field. It's going to score at least Brittany Afalter. Lily Delmain stays on third. Now Aubrey Shore could have been caught in a pickle, but nobody was covering first. That's heads-up base running by Aubrey Shore, just going where the defense doesn't. You don't see a first basewoman covering. No reason not to take more of a lead. See if maybe EIU makes a little bit of a mishap. But nonetheless, Aubrey Shore, another RBI. She's now 1 for 1, our player to watch, and for good reason. We're going to see a quick timeout here at the mound for the Eastern Illinois Panthers. Carly McKenzie, their star pitcher who doesn't give up a lot of runs. She's got a 5.12 ERA, having to have a mound meeting now. We're looking at that replay. That was the most recent hit from Aubrey Shore. And then you see her rounding first. Look at that base running. Even the right fielder, Alicia Frederick, started running in. Maybe she had to cover the base. Just good backup defense there by the Panthers, but also great heads-up base running by Aubrey Shore. And then we're looking at who scored here. We already saw Brittany Afalter score, and Lily Delmain now moves to third. We're still seeing this mound meeting. It's Christy Paulson who is visiting the mound right now. Christy and Dan Paulson, co-head coaches at Eastern Illinois. Not the only co-head coaches in all of NCAA sports. We got a couple more that I'll get to later in the broadcast, but they are 2 of the most notorious co-head coaches, especially at the softball region. Tennessee, the university, used to have some co-head coaches. We'll talk more about them later in the broadcast. I'm sure there's going to be many mound meetings where we can talk about the Paulsons. A lined up bunt by Gracie Luna is going to allow a steal from the pinch runner over there. It's not Aubrey Shore who is able to steal. I'm going to go ahead and assume it's Abby Robbins who is at second base right now. That would be correct. So Robbins comes in and pitch runs, the senior from Farmington. That's her at second. You still got Lily Delmain, the freshman, at third. And now Gracie Luna, the junior, batting. Yesterday, SEMO won 9-8 and 4-3. They played twice, and they won by 1 in both of those games. Here's a look at that steal from Abby Robbins from first to second. In the first game, Gracie Luna started at catcher, and in the second game, she got the break and allowed Reagan Brannon to start for the Red Hawks. Today, Luna gets to start catching, but because Brannon hit so well, you're not going to be able to keep her out of the lineup as Gracie Luna strikes out, and EIU is able to record their second out of the inning. How good of a day Reagan Brannon had, who's on deck right now, number 28. You can see her a little bit in frame of that camera shot. Hit a home run yesterday, so you'd say she had a pretty decent day. Now up is Sydney Miles for SEMO, the freshman, with 2 runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Here's Miles. 1-0 count. She saw the first pitch go for a ball. Sydney Miles from Park Hills, Missouri. She played all games yesterday. She started and completed both games yesterday. She starts and presumably will complete today's game. Only time will tell. Sydney Miles sees a second pitch strike. 1-1 count now. Here's the 1-1 delivery from McKenzie. Miles didn't like it. A little bit too high in the zone. It'll be 2-1. This is the first time that SEMO has scored a run in the first inning against Eastern Illinois this year. They did win both of the games yesterday. We talked about it. I'm going to keep talking about it. SEMO won both the games yesterday by 1 run. There were 2 really close games as Sydney Miles lays a perfect bunt. It's at least maybe going to be an RBI, but Eastern Illinois is so quick on the defensive side of the ball. Lizzie Stiverson able to get Miles out at first. It'll just be a 1-0 lead for the Red Hawks. We'll see you in the top of the second for Eastern Illinois at bats. SEMO 1, Eastern Illinois 0. You're watching OVC Softball on ESPN+. We welcome you back into the Southeast Softball Complex. We're going to take a quick look at the batting lineup for Eastern Illinois as their first batter, Maribeth Dyson, comes up to bat. And I think I was mistaken. Dyson won't be up. It'll actually be their 8th batter, Maddox Marshall. Now, the numbers on screen are incorrect, so don't focus on their numbers. The positions and names are correct. It'll be Maddox Marshall, then Chloe Wamble, and then back to the top of the lineup, Lizzie Stiverson. It's a Stiverson, some of our roster lineups. If you noticed yesterday, if you were here with us, if you're here with us today and you just noticed Lizzie Stiverson is spelled Silverson, somehow here at SEMO, our records said that Stiverson's last name was spelled Silverson. We have since fixed the issue. We know it's Stiverson. Here's a bunt attempt, and the pickoff back to first base will be safe. So I do apologize to you viewers. It looks like we missed a at-bat. Maribeth Dyson did start this inning off hitting. I knew I wasn't crazy. She started it off. I don't know exactly how she started off. She got hit, so we do have a look at the replay on there. Fantastic job by our crew to be able to capture that. So Maribeth Dyson gets hit on the first pitch that she sees. My goodness, seashells by the seashore. Maribeth Dyson gets hit by the first pitch that she sees. I'm just going to stop talking now. She's at first base. Up now is Maddox Marshall, who's now going to ground over to Addie Martini at short. She throws to first, and Marshall nearly beats it out, but Addie Martini so good at the shortstop position, able to make the play. Maddie Carney retires her first batter of the inning, and Maribeth Dyson moves over to second. Now it's the bottom of the lineup for Eastern Illinois, their ninth hitter, Chloe Wambolt. Yesterday, this would have been their first batter of the lineup. Wambolt in both games hit first, and yesterday she was unable to record a hit, so now she's moved down in the lineup. Hopefully that the coach's reason to do that is to hopefully, give her some sort of reason to be mad, some sort of reason to work that anger out on the field. Wambolt, a very good hitting player, an even better defensive player at shortstop. If you're the Paulsons, you're familiar with her. You know that she is so good. Usually their leadoff hitter just has to move down for a game, maybe a couple games, work her way back up into that starting position in the lineup. Absolutely no doubt in my mind that Chloe Wambolt is capable of that. She's got that signature left-handed batting stance. She runs up a little bit when the pitch is thrown, tries to get ahead of it. Maddie Carney now has a 1-2 count to Wambolt. And here's the pitch. Wambolt didn't like it, a little bit outside. Chloe Wambolt, a junior. She's also from Wisconsin. She's from Kenosha, Wisconsin herself. Ended up playing at Kenosha Tremper High School. That's where she originally came from. And then as she swings and strikes out on this pitch, Maddie Carney's first strikeout of the day will go against Chloe Wambolt. SEMO now has 2 outs recorded. I was just going to say that Wambolt ended up playing JUCO for a couple years before coming here to Eastern Illinois. Now up is going to be the top of the lineup for the Panthers. It's Lizzie Stiverson. And we saw Stiverson originally when she was up to bat, her first at-bat, she got robbed as she pieced a softball opposite field. It was in right center field, perfectly in between the center fielder and the right fielder. You really thought that nobody would have been able to get to it as Maddie Carney's high pitch is able to be caught by Gracie Luna. You would have thought nobody was able to get it unless you're familiar with Lily Delmain, the center fielder for SEMO. We'll get another look at that robbing catch in a few moments. As Stiverson rips this ball over to third, Sydney Miles does a good job of knocking the ball down. Stiverson really hitting the ball hard today, able to get on with 2 outs. SEMO now has 2 runners on and 2 outs. I was just saying that Stiverson started the game off really. Unfortunately, Lily Delmain made a great catch, but then in the bottom of the first, for SEMO's first at-bat, Stiverson ended up robbing Camden Hutton of an at-bat. She caught a foul ball, and she covered a lot of ground when she caught that foul ball. It's Alicia Frederick, our player to watch for Eastern Illinois, up to bat right now. Frederick, our player to watch. After the second game yesterday, Frederick went 1 for 4, but she had 2 of EIU's 3 runs off of her bat. She had a hit, which resulted in 2 RBIs yesterday, and Frederick also had a couple plays in the outfield. Now grounds over to Hutton, who's going to make the play at second, get the lead runner, and get SEMO out of the second. Still 1-0 Southeast Missouri's way. We'll see you in the bottom of the second. You're watching OVC Softball on ESPN+. We welcome you back into the Southeast Softball Complex. Carly McKenzie still on the bump, and up for the Southeast Missouri State Redhawks will be Reagan Brannon, a junior from Mansfield, Texas. Reagan Brannon gave SEMO a big jump as she's trying to do so quickly here. Pops this softball over to shortstop. It'll be Chloe Wamble to make the catch. What I was about to say is Reagan Brannon really helped SEMO yesterday. Got him on the board early with a 2-run home run. She's a righty. She pulled it to deep left field right down the line, and it was a no-doubter. Records the first out here in the bottom of the second. Carly McKenzie now faces Addie Martini for SEMO. Martini lays down the bunt, pops it up as well. Catcher Sophia Ullman was looking around for it, was unable to jump on it. So it'll be a 0-1 count for Martini, the starting shortstop for SEMO. Addie Martini, I'm going to say it a lot because she just keeps starting softball games. Maybe next home game that SEMO has, she'll continue starting, so I can keep telling you guys that Addie Martini has started now 43 straight games for the Redhawks. It's the most on the squad as she pulls this ball down the left field line. Coach Mark Redburn didn't even have a clue that it was coming towards him. He's talking to his bench, telling his girls just what to do. Coach Redburn, a fantastic softball coach this year, has totaled his 300th career win at SEMO. So congrats to Coach Redburn, but he's not worried about that number. He's just looking to keep on adding. Martini fouls the 0-2 pitch. She stays alive. Addie Martini, only a sophomore here at SEMO, but she still has that record, one in which she has started so many games. It's now 43 straight games, and 31 of them have been at the shortstop position. There's a pitch from McKenzie. Martini rips it. It's going into deep left field. It looks like it's going to get out of the arena, out of reach for Brooklyn Groppel, who's out there in left. So Martini still with an 0-2 count, stays alive. Carly McKenzie, a very good pitcher. Lots of pitches in the arsenal. But we do see the high heat on 0-2. Now the second straight pitch to Addie Martini. What will McKenzie go to? Here's the pitch. Goes with the high heat. Martini was able to lay off just a bit, so still stays alive. You know, Martini wanted to swing. You 0-2, 2 strikes. You've got to stay alive. Martini absolutely will go down swinging here if she happens to go down, but she's not trying to. She's trying to stay on base. Here's the pitch from McKenzie. Martini swings. It's hit over to third. Fielded and thrown to first cleanly. Addie Martini is retired by Carly McKenzie and Lizzie Stuyvesant over there at third. Still a 1-0 lead for SEMO. They scored in the bottom of the first. They won yesterday by a score of 9-8 in the first doubleheader, and then in the second doubleheader, they won 4-3. 2 runs is the run differential between Eastern Illinois and SEMO after 2 games. Obviously a +2 for SEMO, a -2 for Eastern Illinois. Madison Winkler now is up to bat for the Redhawks. It's the 1-0 delivery to Winkler. High heat, gets past Winkler, she lets it go. It'll be 2-0. Here's a look at that fielded play by Lizzie Stuyvesant. Makes the throw over to first cleanly. Great look at that replay. Great play by Stuyvesant over on the hot corner. Madison Winkler now with a 2-0 count. McKenzie's going to have to attack the zone. Winkler swings, and that one goes right to Chloe Wamble. That's a quick bottom of the second. We'll see you in the top of the third. You're watching OVC Softball on ESPN+. We're back at the Southeast Softball Complex. Maddie Carney still on the bump. Abby Hatton, the first basewoman for Eastern Illinois, up to bat. She's a 6-foot sophomore, originally from Illinois. She went to Effingham St. Anthony High School. Here's the thing about Abby Hatton. We've talked about it all weekend if you've been with us. She's got SEMO roots. Now, how does an Eastern Illinois Panther have SEMO roots, as Hatton is going to get this inning started off with a single up the middle? Abby Hatton has a father whose name is Vern Hatton, who played at SEMO from 2001 and the 2002 season. She also has an aunt, Christina Walk Alvarez, who played SEMO volleyball in 2001. Her dad and aunt both played volleyball and baseball, respectively, at SEMO. Hatton, now at Eastern Illinois playing some softball, is going to get pinch ran for. Hatton, after a single, gets ran for, but you got to imagine she'll be back out on the field when we return for SEMO's next at-bat in the bottom of the second. But we got to focus on the task at hand right now. Sophia Ullman is up to bat. Abby Hatton singled to start this inning off. Her runner is on first. It's not her on first, but her runner's on first. It's Emily Conkle who's running for her. So Conkle now on first base, a junior from Teutopolis, Illinois. Emily Conkle on first. Now Sophia Ullman up to bat. And Emily Conkle, who's on first base, pinch running for Abby Hatton. I just said where she was from, and I mispronounced it, so I'm going to give it another go after Ullman fouls this ball off. Emily Conkle, a junior from Teutopolis, Illinois. She went to Teutopolis High School, a very famous city in Illinois. Teutopolis is. It's famous just because of its name, Teutopolis. You could also call it T-Town. The name honors the Teutones, which is an ancient German tribe. So this city in Illinois, Teutopolis, is named after the Teutons, an ancient German tribe. She went to Teutopolis High School. You know what the high school mascot is at Teutopolis? As Ullman sees the 2-2 count, it'll now be full to Sophia Ullman. Emily Conkle, who's on first base, is who we're talking about right now. She went to Teutopolis High School. The logo is the wooden shoes. For the women, it's the lady shoes. So now Sophia Ullman walks. Emily Conkle moves on to second base. And up to bat will be Mo Hance for the Panthers. Mo Hance, one of two All-OVC first-team returners for Eastern Illinois. Their other All-OVC returner from last year is their starting pitcher today, Carly McKenzie. But Mo Hance, their outfielder, their starting left fielder yesterday. Today she's starting as just an extra hitter. She's not in the field, was an All-OVC first-teamer most recently last year. Now a 1-0 count to Hance. You got two runners on. You got Conkle on second. You got Ullman on first. And Maddie Carney now has a 1-0 count to Mo Hance. The pitch, Hance fouls it off. It goes behind her. Mo Hance is a sophomore. She's from Clay City. She made All-OVC as a freshman last year. Not only was she named to the All-OVC first team, she was also named to the All-OVC newcomer team. Her and Abby Hatton both were named to the newcomer team after their freshman campaign. Hance also happened to make the All-OVC first team. Now lays down a bunt with one strike. It'll now be two. She just wasn't able to get the bat on the ball. Maddie Carney's going to have to attack. No outs recorded for SEMO in the field. They got to be aware to force out at any base. So if they get an infield single over to the left side, which is technically unlikely with the lefty up, theoretically she's going to pull the ball. Hance now sends it to deep center field, shallow center field. It's going to be fielded by Domain, but the base running by Emily Conkle, she didn't know if it was going to drop or not, is going to be called a force out over at third. That's good heads-up defense by Lily Domain, who charged the softball in. It was a good hit by Mo Hance to advance runners, but just an unfortunate situation for the Panthers. So same situation for SEMO. You got runners on first and second. Emily Conkle, who went to Teutopolis High School, is retired. She's in the dugout. On second, it's Sophia Ullman, and on first, it's Mo hands. It'll now be Lexi Griffin up to bat. We have a substitution being made. Brooklyn Groppel, the starting left fielder, is out just for the time being, at least at the current at bat. Lexi Griffin, who played yesterday, you're familiar with her if you watched both games yesterday. She played both games yesterday. Now up to bat. Maddie Carney, the starting pitcher for SEMO. This is now her 17th appearance so far this season. Her 17th started appearance, I should say. She has pitched 20 times, but this is her 17th start of the year. Now a 1-1 count to Lexi Griffin. Griffin swings and fouls this ball off. Umpire and catcher Gracie Luna looking around to see where it went. Maddie Carney waiting for it. She'll get the ball back. Maddie Carney, a junior from St. Louis, Missouri. She's from the St. Louis County area. Went to Marquette High School out in the Baldwin Chesterfield area here in Missouri. Carney committed to SEMO as a senior in high school and has been here since. Been here all 3 years of her career. Here's a delivery from Carney. The high heat, just a little bit too high. Lexi Griffin now faces a 2-2 count. Last year, Maddie Carney appeared 19 total times, and so with today being her 20th appearance, she has now appeared more times this year than she did the entirety of last season. After last season, though, had a 2.5 ERA. She bounces this ball in. It'll be a full count to Lexi Griffin. Had a 2.5 ERA after the entirety of last year. So far this year, not as low of a number on the ERA, but she's having just as good of a year, a 5.1 ERA coming into today's game. Maddie Carney also hit 100 career strikeouts this year. That was a pretty big number for her. One of SEMO's other pitchers, Willow Van Haren, actually also just recently hit 100 strikeouts. So you got 2, 3, triple-digit, I should say, strikeout in their careers for SEMO pitchers. Carney now with the full count delivery to Griffin. Griffin rips it up the middle. They're going to keep the runner at third, So Lexi Griffin, a pinch hitting single, is going to load the bases for Eastern Illinois. She pinch hit for Brooklyn Groppel, and Lexi Griffin did her job. Now they're going to bring up Maribeth Dyson, the starting center fielder. She's going to hit from the left side of the box. You see Coach Mark Redburn talking to the home plate umpire, so you have to imagine with him talking to the umpire, there is some sort of substitution. We're actually going to have a new pitcher for SEMO. A pitching change is about to be made, so we're going to take a break really quick here. Maddie Carney out. We'll let you know who's in when we come back. You're watching OVC Softball on ESPN+. Welcome back into the Southeast Softball Complex. My name's Kyler Messenger, bringing you the play-by-play for all SEMO softball games this year. Currently, Eastern Illinois has the bases loaded with 1 out. Maddie Carney was just pitching for SEMO. We just talked about how she just hit 100 career strikeouts. Then we talked about the other pitcher for the Redhawks who just hit 100 career strikeouts. And then she comes into the ballgame. Willow Van Haren now on the bump for the Redhawks, the lefty pitcher. She comes in to face the lefty batter, Maribeth Dyson. First pitch, a strike from Van Haren. 1 out. Bases loaded for Eastern Illinois. You're down 1-0. You lost both games yesterday by 1 run, so just a 1-run differential could decide the game. These runs would be essential if they can end up scoring. And Dyson pops out in between right and second. Winkler's going to be the one to catch it. She gets the throw in immediately. Willow Van Haren faces Maribeth Dyson for her first batter and gets her to pop out to shallow right. You couldn't have popped out to a better spot. Winkler also at right field, who has a great arm. She plays center field earlier in the season, has been moved over to right since, still has just as good of an arm in right field. She was ready to go, and it was just too shallow for Eastern Illinois to even take a chance on a tag up. Maddox Marshall up now for Eastern Illinois. Van Haren pitched yesterday in both of the games. She pitched in the first game where SEMO won 9-8. She only pitched for a single inning. So her stats, 1.0 innings pitched, as we'll see the 1-0 delivery to Maddox, and nearly gets hit by Van Haren. In that first game, Van Haren actually did walk in a run. She walked in 2 batters in that 1 inning. She did strike out 2 more, and she allowed 3 runs, none of which were earned. She then came back in the second game, the one which SEMO won 4-3, as a 2-0 pitch to Maddox Marshall is fouled off. In the second game, which SEMO won 4-3, Willow Van Haren closed the game out. She went 4 innings, shut out the Panthers, only allowed 1 hit in 4 innings pitched, 0 runs, 2 strikeouts, and 10 batters who either grounded out or flew out. She had 5 groundouts, 5 flyouts, 2 strikeouts, and only 1 hit allowed. So she came in the second matchup of this doubleheader yesterday and just dominated the Panthers. Obviously, that's why Coach Redburn brought her in today, looking to do the same. Bases still loaded. 3-1 count now to Maddox Marshall, and Marshall is going to walk an unearned run for the Panthers. And like we said, runs are so essential in a matchup that ended in a single-run contest both of the games in the doubleheader. So runs just so important in this series. It's now a 1-1 tie. Got to imagine we got a pinch hitter coming up or a substitution being made. Coach Dan Paulson, the co-head coach, the third base coach over there for Eastern Illinois, making a substitution. Talking to the home plate umpires, as we know he likes to do. It will be a pinch hitter, so it's going to be Viola Smith in for the Panthers. Chloe Wambolt out for the Panthers. I guarantee that Wambolt will still be at shortstop when we come back from break after the top of the third. I guarantee it. I will be shocked if Chloe Wambolt is not at shortstop. She's so good defensively. Viola Smith now thought that she got hit. She started trotting to first base, thought that Van Haren was about to walk in the second straight run, and now Coach Dan Paulson is going to talk to the umpire. He trusts his players. She says that she got hit. He's going to ride for her. That's just something that Dan Paulson does. He talks to the umpires constantly, loves to make sure that the game's being officiated correctly. Now the umpire's having to meet up around the pitcher's mound. This would be essential for Eastern Illinois to get another run in without even having to swing the bat, but for SEMO, this would be really crucial to allow, and we're going to take another look at that replay. I mean, it was close. We're going to slow it down here on this next look. She said she got hit in the hand. She signaled to her hand when she was talking to her head coach, Dan Paulson, and we're looking at this quick, zoomed in and slow down pitch from Van Haren. It's definitely right next to Viola Smith, the freshman. I mean, it's right there. It is right next to her, but did it hit her backhand? It obviously did not hit her left hand. The question is if it hit her right hand, the top hand that would be on top of that bat. And with this angle, it's just nearly impossible to tell. You got to remember with the umpires, they are discussing it. If we decide to go to instant replay, if this play is challengeable, or if it is instant replayable, reviewable, I should say, the umpires have different camera angles. They have many different camera angles. They have 6 exactly that they can look at that are posted up here at the Southeast Softball Complex. One of them is above home plate, so they would most definitely look at that above home plate angle to see if Viola Smith was hit by the pitch. We're going to look at this other angle, and man, it's just going to be even more impossible to tell. Our ESPN Plus angle is just slightly different than what they have there at the field, so they might have a better look at it. But we just don't know here. We're going to go ahead and just let the umpires make the call. Really close. The question is if Viola Smith, who came in to pinch hit for Chloe Wamble, was hit by the pitch. She seems to think so. I mean, she started running to first base the second that the pitch was caught by Gracie Luna, the catcher for SEMO. And it looks like Lizzie Stuyvesant is in that on-deck circle, but she looks like she's ready to come up to hit. So Eastern Illinois pretty confident that this thing is going to get overturned. Home plate umpire, you still see him in frame. The way that this thing works at collegiate level with reviews, the home plate umpire is the one that originally made the call. He said that she was not hit. So the other umpires, the secondary field umpires, the ones who did not make the call, are the ones that go to the instant replay review. We're looking at another angle here, the above the plate angle. Did it hit her hand? This is about the best angle that we are going to get for you guys at home. A big shout out to our SEMO students here at the ESPN Plus production crew for grabbing this angle. It's so close. I mean, it's a yellow ball against a blue glove. It should be obvious, right? But it just isn't. Did she get hit on? And honestly, it looks like it is their left hand. I called out the right hand earlier. It's that bottom hand. Did she get hit on the bottom wrist or the elbow? She's got that elbow guard that maybe gives her an extra inch or two off of the body that it could have hit where she could still earn the base. Maybe it's the elbow guard that maybe it hit her. Or maybe it's on that forearm. Did the ball move? Did the ball change the direction that it was going to go originally before it hit her? I just don't know. We're looking at Dan Polston right there on third base talking to his girl, Lexi Griffin, his catcher from yesterday. Now she pinch hit and earned herself on a third. The call on the field is going to be overturned. It looks like the runners will stay. Okay, so what happened is the call did get overturned, excuse me. Another run will be added to the board for Eastern Illinois, a 2-1 lead for the Panthers. They say that she did get hit. So Viola Smith, who came in to pinch hit, does get hit. Willow Van Haren, the pitcher for SEMO, comes in and walks a run in and then hits the next batter, Viola Smith. She's at first base. Maddox Marshall at second and Lexi Griffin at third for the Panthers. Now Lizzie Stuyvesant, who is already 1 for 2, her very first at-bat. She almost had a hit, but she was robbed by Lily Delmain, who made a diving catch in center field. Stuyvesant was just a couple inches away from being 2 for 2 in this ball game. She's hit the ball hard both times. Definitely not the player you want up with the bases loaded. SEMO just needs one more out to go back and hit. Eastern Illinois looking to advance some more runners. Stuyvesant rips this ball right at the Red Hawks dugout. It'll now be a 2-2 count. No, it'll be a 2-1 count to Lizzie Stuyvesant. That foul ball, the first strike that she recorded. Same field for SEMO that we started with. Have not made any defensive adjustments early in this ball game. Van Haren unable to find the zone. So it'll be a 3-1 count for Stuyvesant. Willow Van Haren, her back against the wall again. Now cannot afford another ball or it'll be her third walked in run. Bases loaded for the Panthers. 3-1 count. Here's the pitch from Van Haren. And it does not find the zone. Willow Van Haren thought that it might have. She's trying to give herself some sort of reasoning as to why it wasn't a strike. If we get another look at that sometime, it sure looked like, now from our angles here from this camera angle, it looked like it was down the plate, but the umpire obviously has the best angle behind home plate. Eastern Illinois scores another run due to a walk. The Panthers now taking this ball deep into right field. It's off of the bat of Eastern Illinois. It was Alicia Frederick who pulled that ball, but it was caught by Madison Winkler. SEMO walks in 3, now down 2. We'll see you in the bottom of the third. It's Eastern Illinois 3, SEMO 1. You're watching OVC Softball on ESPN+.
Hey girls, swung the new mantra yet?
No, but I heard that bat is insane.
Y'all want to swing for it?
Yeah, we do, but we know how that went last time.
Yeah. Let's go, girls. Come on. Man, y'all can stand on your own. I guess I'll give you a couple.
We'll actually take 4.
Mantra, power on repeat.
Ready for a local getaway that feels like a world of its own? Escape the ordinary and discover the charm of Southern Illinois. With local wineries, live concerts, farmers markets, and scenic trails to explore, there's an adventure tailored for every taste bud and passion. Our breathtaking lakes offer endless possibilities for adventure. Rent boats, jet skis, or kayaks, and explore our world. Visit Southern Illinois. Start your adventure today.
What's it like to be a student athlete in the OVC? We rise to challenges and challenge others to rise with us. We show respect. We lead by example. In the OVC, we become champions on and off the field. That's OVC Sports, and you've got to OVC it.
And we are back at the Southeast Softball Complex. Most recently, if you're just joining us, Eastern Illinois scored 3 of their 3 runs here in the top of the third. They actually got no runs earned. Here's a look at that pitch from Van Haren on her most recent walk. She walked Lizzie Stuyvesant on. And yeah, it was close. You saw Van Haren throwing her hands up. She wasn't sure where that ball was. She wasn't sure how it's not in the zone. SEMO did score their first run in the top of the first. Camden Hutton, the first batter for SEMO, up to bat right now. She's 0 for 1, did not get on in her first at-bat. Looking to change that here today. Camden Hutton now leads SEMO in average after the doubleheader yesterday, as the 0-1 pitch is swung on by Hutton. It's popped up into the infield. McKenzie's going to get under it, and she is going to catch it. So, Carly McKenzie making a catch herself. You guys, I did make a statement earlier, and that statement was incorrect. Viola Smith subbed in for Chloe Wamble to hit, and here's the look at the Alicia Frederick bases loaded pop out to right field. Alicia Frederick was our player to watch today. Chloe Wamble out of the shortstop position. The freshman Viola Smith came in to pinch hit for her. I made a prediction that Wamble would be back in the field here in the bottom of the third frame. Well, that prediction, absolutely incorrect. You see number 9, Viola Smith, walking in from the shortstop position right now. She took the spot of Chloe Wamble, so she's now at the shortstop position. Rest of the lineup, very, very similar for Eastern Illinois. It's actually the exact same. It's still Hance, Dyson, and Frederick in left, center, and right. Stuyvesant at third, Marshall at second, and Abby Hatton at first. Sophia Ullman still behind the dish, and Carly McKenzie, the reigning OVC tournament MVP, still dealing here at Southeast Missouri. Now a 1-1 count for SEMO's number 2 hitter, Brittany Falter. The pitch from McKenzie to Falter. Falter wanted to go, just didn't like it enough. It'll now be a 2-2 count. Brittany Falter, a senior on this Red Hawks squad, originally from Odessa, Missouri, committed to play at SEMO and has been here all 4 years of her collegiate career. Something that you just don't necessarily see all the time, as Brittany Falter rips this softball into right field. It's going to hit the scoreboard. You can literally put it on the board. Brittany Falter, how do you do? What a strike. What a hit from Brittany Falter, the senior, making her presence be known. I mean, look at that. She hits her own face. She hits her own body on the board. She don't care. That scoreboard might have a Falter-sized dent in it. That's the second home run of her season. Brittany Falter getting SEMO right back on the board, literally. Now up to bat is going to be Lily Delmain for the Red Hawks. Now with a 3-2 deficit, a run ball game again. Delmain grounds out to Stuyvesant at third. So now the Panthers of Eastern Illinois have 2 outs recorded, but they did give up a solo shot to Brittany Falter. We have seen a home run now in all 3 games that Eastern Illinois and SEMO have played. Yesterday in the first game, we saw 2. It was both Eastern Illinois' Abby Hatton and Sophia Ullman who hit the home runs. Then in the second doubleheader, it was Reagan Brannon for the Red Hawks to hit a home run. And today, it's Brittany Falter for SEMO hitting the home run. Our player to watch for the Red Hawks, Aubrey Shore, up to bat right now. She's that player to watch because of the second game in the doubleheader that she had yesterday. She went 2 for 2, had 2 RBIs, and now she's going to be hit. So she will get the base. Aubrey Shore stays 1 for 1 on base percentage, going a little bit up. Aubrey Shore before that at bat had a .816 on base plus slugging percentage. So on the score sheet, as we see a Falter come home and hug her teammate Delmain after that home run. On the score sheet, it's OPS is the stat. You take on base percentage plus slugging percentage. Aubrey Shore in the 800 level. It's really, really a high number. Up next is Gracie Luna up to bat for SEMO. Gracie Luna, a .222 average coming into this at-bat. Here's the pitch for Carly McKenzie. Luna swings on it, and the changeup drops out of the zone. It'll be an 0-2 count for Luna. Gracie Luna from Peoria, Illinois. Starting catcher for the Red Hawks. Here's a delivery from Carly McKenzie. Luna sends this ball into left field. It's going to be tracked down by Mo Hance, coming in all the way from deep left to make the play. SEMO gets on the board thanks to Brittany Falter, who hit a solo shot. It's SEMO 2, Eastern Illinois 3. We'll see you in the top of the 4th. You're watching OVC Softball on ESPN+. Welcome back into the Southeast Softball Complex. We are fresh off of a 4-run third inning. Eastern Illinois scored all three of their runs in the top of the third, and SEMO, thanks to Brittany Falter, the left fielder, due to a solo home run, got one more run on the board. SEMO now down 3-2. Eastern Illinois up 3-2, looking to build on that lead with their sophomore first basewoman, Abby Hatton, leading the way. She'll see a first pitch strike. There's a new pitcher in the game for the Red Hawks. Willow Van Haren has been replaced by Elliot Stinson. We did see Stinson yesterday in the second matchup of the doubleheader. She started the ball game, got pulled after 2.1 innings pitched, and now she's here facing Abby Hatton, who we talked about it after a Falter hit a home run. Abby Hatton hit a home run yesterday in the first action, in the first doubleheader. Abby Hatton, you just have to mention it just because of the SEMO roots. Her dad and aunt both played baseball and volleyball at SEMO. I got some stats for Vern Hatton. I hope you're listening, Mr. Hatton. Hatton has a record at SEMO. He set it in 2001 to 2002 season, and it still holds to this day. The most triples ever in a single season for SEMO baseball is 9, and that record was set by Abby Hatton, who just struck out due to Elliot Stinson's father, Vern Hatton. He has 9 triples in a single season. It still stands to this day. Look it up. Most triples in a single season, SEMO baseball, it's Vern Hatton. Anyway, Abby Hatton records the first out for the Red Hawks. It is now going to be Sophia Ullman up to bat. Ullman also hit a home run in this series. Ullman coming to this at-bat, hitting .250 on the year. She's 0 for 1 so far today. She did walk in her second at-bat and scored one of those runs in the third inning that Eastern Illinois ended up scoring. Eastern Illinois scored all 3 of those runs due to either walks or due to hit by pitches. So all unearned runs for the Panthers. But you don't really care about that as Ullman rips this ball into left field. It's almost knocked down by Addie Martini at short. Great effort by Martini to get to the ball. She just wasn't able to complete the play. Eastern Illinois, you don't really mind if a run is earned or not earned. You're going to take anything that you can get. Now up for the Panthers is Mo Hance. First pitch to Hance is going to be a ball, a little bit high and outside. Mo Hance hails from Clay City, Illinois. She went to Clay City High School where she was a Falcon. She's now a Panther. Got some fun little mascots if you're Mo Hance. Get to be a Falcon flying around. Now you're a Panther running around. She's a sophomore here for the Eastern Illinois Panthers. We're taking a look at Sophia Ullman running out the base hit that she most recently got last year for the Panthers of Eastern Illinois, as Mo Hance fouls this softball right off the face mask of our umpire. Got to make sure he's all right. You see the thumbs up right there. Sir looks all good to me. But we're going to take a quick just second to walk around and make sure he's good. Mo Hance, last year as a freshman, was named to the All-OVC first team due to hitting .360 last year. She had a 360 batting average, concluding the year with 16 RBIs as well as scoring 25 runs. So she scored a bunch as well as hitting a bunch in. Mo Hance, a 3-1 count now. Stinson's pitch just a little bit low. Hance is going to lay the bunt down with the 3-1 count and tried to catch the Red Hawks napping, but she wasn't able to get the bunt in fair territory. Sophia Ullman on first base for Eastern Illinois. Now a full count to Mo Hance. And Mo Hance is going to walk. That pitch was just a little bit low out of the zone, and now head coach Mark Redburn immediately making a trip to the mound. Elliot Stinson in her first inning got Abby Hatton to strike out as the first batter, but since let Sophia Ullman get on base due to an infield single. I don't even know if you consider that an infield single. Martini did knock it off with her glove, but it got past her, got around the glove, then now has walked Mo Hance. So there's runners on first and second for SEMO. One out, and it's going to be Brooklyn Groppel, who was in the lineup earlier. She was pulled for Lexi Griffin. It looks like Griffin will stay in the lineup, so it'll actually be Lexi Griffin who's up to bat next. Maribeth Dyson on deck, and then Maddox Marshall in the hole. Redburn keeping Stinson in the game, but he is getting the entire infield in to communicate with his team. So now they're going to be on the same page. They're going to know where everybody's going with the softball if it comes to them. It's Coach Mark Redburn walking back to the dugout. He's assisted by SEMO associate head coach Kristen Jones. Jones is in her 10th year with the program. Redburn in his 12th. And then they also have in his first year as assistant coach with SEMO, Brian Wallen. Brian Wallen was with SEMO in 2023 as director of player development, but then he went to Union University in 2024 to be their hitting and infield coach, and now in the 2026 season, back at SEMO as an assistant. Redburn back to the dugout. Lexi Griffin up to bat, and it looks like Redburn, whatever he said, worked. Elliot Stinson gets Lexi Griffin to pop out to Camden Hutton. SEMO has 2 outs recorded with runners on first and second, and up to bat is Eastern Illinois center fielder Maribeth Dyson. Dyson originally from Bentonville, Arkansas. She's a senior here with the squad. Was not here her entire career. Now, this is her 3rd year at Eastern Illinois, but in her freshman campaign, Dyson actually played at Missouri Southern University as a freshman. She appeared in 15 games, and in those 15 games, hit .364 at Missouri Southern. Transferred to Eastern Illinois after her freshman year there, and has been at Eastern Illinois since. Dyson fouls this softball off. It'll be a 1-2 count to Maribeth Dyson, who's from Bentonville, Arkansas. Random fun fact, if you work at Walmart, you're probably familiar with Bentonville, Arkansas. It's actually the birthplace of Walmart. It's where the Walmart headquarters is. All of the Walmart stores have a universal air conditioning unit, which is controlled in Bentonville. They control the heat, they control the cooling, they control all of the Walmart internal systems at the headquarters in Bentonville, Arkansas. Just a little fun fact, she is from the hometown of Walmart. Dyson now with a 2-2 count. Stinson gets her to foul the ball off again. So you got the Walton family. That is the Walmart family, essentially. Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart. He was born in Oklahoma, but then moved to Bentonville, Arkansas, and established the Walmart franchise. His wife, Alice Walton, also a billionaire, who was part of the Walmart founding crew. The Walton family now owns the Denver Broncos, and they also just bought 40% of the Colorado Rockies. So the Walton family making an impact in Colorado. They started their careers in Bentonville, Arkansas, which is where the current batter, Maribeth Dyson, started her life there, I'm going to be completely honest. Maribeth Dyson now a 2-2 count. Here's the pitch from Stinson. It'll be a little bit low and outside. Now a full count. Runners on first and second and 2 outs. Elliot Stinson's very first inning that she has pitched today. Looking to get out of it without anything hurt. Eastern Illinois looking to make something happen. Maribeth Dyson slices this ball into left field. Fantastic effort by Brittany Falter to get to that ball, but it just wasn't in time. Eastern Illinois' Maribeth Dyson stays alive. It'll be a full count now, and Elliot Stinson going to have to fire another strike. Here's a delivery from Stinson, and it's in the dirt. Not only a walk, but it could have possibly allowed for another runner to advance. It'll be bases loaded for Eastern Illinois. Elliot Stinson walks in Maribeth Dyson, and now Maddox Marshall is up to bat. Maddox Marshall, the second base woman for this squad. Sports the number 31. Here's the pitch from Stinson. Maddox Marshall 5'9". That pitch just a little bit too high in her zone. It'll be a 1-0 count. It's now a 2-0 count. That pitch just a little bit low. The first pitch that we saw to Marshall was just a bit high in her zone. Marshall fouls this off. Now a 2-1 count. Eastern Illinois scored all 3 of their runs in the last inning. They scored all 3 in the top of the third. SEMO, on the other hand, scored 1 in the bottom of the first and then 1 in the bottom of the third. Maddox Marshall swings high on this pitch. It was a really, really strong swing. Just wasn't able to get bat on ball. It'll be a 2-2 count to Marshall, the sophomore from Huntingburg, Indiana. Here's the pitch from Stinson. Marshall hits it right to Sydney Miles, who steps on the base and gets SEMO out of the jam. We'll see you in the bottom of the fourth. Nothing hurt for the Red Hawks, looking to get on the board again. You're watching OVC Softball on ESPN+. Welcome back into the Southeast Softball Complex. Fresh off of getting the third out for the Red Hawks, Sydney Miles now takes her stride into the batter's box, and she will face the first pitch from Carly McKenzie right now. Miles sees the first pitch and lets it go. It'll be an 0-1 count for the freshman from Park Hills, Missouri. Second pitch of the at-bat to Miles, taken outside. Now a 1-1 count. Eastern Illinois just had the bases loaded in the last frame that we were here for, and they just weren't able to get a run home. They left all 3 runners on. Eastern Illinois still holds a 1-run lead, and that very well could be the amount of runs that this ball game ends, as the differential sure is likely after yesterday's doubleheader. Both games ended with a 1-run differential. It was 9-8 in the first doubleheader yesterday afternoon, and then in the latter game, it was a 4-3 ball game. Both wins by Southeast Missouri State, and both by 1 run. So runs at a luxury here between the Panthers and the Red Hawks. You're actually looking at the last 2 OVC champions. This now the rematch between the 2024 championship. Last year, Eastern Illinois won the regular season title and the championship, did not face SEMO in the playoffs. The year before, 2024, Eastern Illinois won the regular season championship, but then SEMO played them in the championship of the playoffs, and SEMO ended up winning the whole thing. So even though Eastern Illinois won the regular season crown in 2024, SEMO won the OVC and earned that NCAA playoff berth. Here's Sydney Miles ripping the softball into center field, but it's going to be caught by Maribeth Dyson out there in center. Didn't have to move much for that one. Miles did a good job of hitting the ball. It was just right to the defense. It's going to bring up Reagan Brannon up to bat for the Red Hawks. Reagan Brannon 0 for 1 today. But yesterday she did take their pitcher deep. She went deep in the second matchup yesterday. Yesterday she was 2 for 3 in SEMO's 4-3 win. Had 2 RBIs, and it was from her home run, herself being one of those RBIs, and the person who scored the run while they were on base. She hit her home. So 2 RBIs for Brandon yesterday, looking to add herself some more. It'll be a 1-1 count now. Here's the 1-1 delivery from Carly McKenzie. This pitch swung on. It's pelted into deep right center field. It's going to go over the head of Maribeth Dyson. Reagan Brannon is going to slide into second, and she's going to be in safely. What a weekend Reagan Brannon is having right on cue. She gets another extra base hit. She is having herself a weekend. What a piece of hitting there by Reagan Brannon. That is now her 3rd double of the season. She's going to be pinch ran for here. Reagan reaches base. Addie Martini will now be up to bat. And you see number 18, Kaylin Yamnitz, coming in to run for the Red Hawks. So SEMO with 1 out. Now with a runner in scoring position thanks to Reagan Brannon's hit. I mean, she just pelted that softball. Wasn't able to get over the fence like she was yesterday, but she still was able to get over the heads of all outfielders. Addie Martini looking to get an RBI here. She's got runner in scoring position. Once again, it's Kaylin Yamnitz, the freshman, over there on first. We'll take a look at Brandon's hit. Look at that. I mean, she hit that thing far, right to the warning track. Brandon rounds first and ends up into second. Not a beautiful slide for Brandon, but nonetheless, you don't need a beautiful slide when you hit the ball so far. You can beat the throw. Anyway, 2-0 count for Addie Martini. Martini pieces this softball. It's high. It's going to fall, and it is going to fall into the glove of Mo Hance out there in the left. Addie Martini pops out to the left fielder. Now will be Madison Winkler up to bat for the Red Hawks. You see the wind picking up here at the Southeast Softball Complex. You see Kaylin Yamnitz's jersey. You see Carly McKenzie's jersey. You see the dirt flying in the air. The wind is here at Southeast Missouri. Here's a pitch from McKenzie to Winkler. And we look at this Field Turf graphic, the weather track presented by Field Turf, the world leader in artificial turf and sponsor of the OVC. Winds reaching up to 18 miles per hour here at the Southeast Softball Complex. You can see the girls' hair flying up. You can see the dirt flying, the ball flying in the air. Look at those flags in center field. Obviously, the wind, while we're sitting here looking at the TV screen, the wind is flying left, right to left. So we'll see if the ball has any factor in the air. If anybody else hits it in the air, they're going to check to see if Winkler went. They say she didn't. So now a 2-3-0 count to Madison Winkler. You got Kaylin Yamnitz on second base. 2 outs recorded. In the OVC tournament MVP from last year, Carly McKenzie, still dealing. The 3-0 delivery. It's going to be high for Winkler. So Madison Winkler walks. She was 0 for 1 today. Stays 0 for 1. She's second on the SEMO roster in batting average. Still leads the team in RBIs. Still leads the team in extra base hits. She leads the team in home runs as well. She does a lot for this squad. Winkler now on first. Yamnitz on second. It will be the top of the lineup for the Red Hawks. It'll be Camden Hutton who's up to bat. And we do see some conjugation going on. Christy Paulson, the head coach, the co-head coach, I should say, for Eastern Illinois, the one to go talk to the girls. You see the outfield dispersing back to their positions. Carly McKenzie now has 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position, and with 2 outs for Eastern Illinois, you got to get out of this inning. You got to stay up. 1-run lead. It's the most of a lead that we've seen at the end of the games between these two teams. So you take it. You got to get back and hit, though, and try to earn yourself some more runs. For SEMO, this is a good opportunity. You got a runner in scoring position. Although there's 2 outs, you don't have a runner in scoring position just every day. So Camden Hutton absolutely going to do everything in her power here to keep this inning moving. Here's the pitch from Carly McKenzie. Hutton didn't like it, neither did our home plate umpire. It's going to be a 2-0 count to Camden Hutton from Poolville, Texas. Here is the delivery from McKenzie. Gonna have to fire in the zone here. Hutton takes the 2-0 pitch. It'll now be 2-1. 67 total pitches for Carly McKenzie today. Here's the 2-1 delivery from McKenzie. Hutton tried to show bunt. We got a steal going on. Yamnitz gets to third. She's going to be sent home. Here's the throw from Hans. It won't be in time. Heads up base running by the Red Hawks is going to earn them a run. You see Winkler hobbled up at second base, so we're going to have to check on her. But Kaylin Yamnitz steals third base. It looks like we had a steal and bunt type situation, a hit and run, but with a bunt. You had Camden Hutton square and bunt. She pulled it back. Double steal, and what happened right there was the catcher Sophia Ullman threw to where the third baseman Lizzie Stuyvesant was. She didn't throw to the base. Stuyvesant was trying to cover the base, and it leaks into left field. SEMO able to tie the ball game up due to a throwing error. Now a 3-3 ball game. A throwing error is actually how SEMO won the first game. Like I said, they were, and when I say the first game, I am talking about the first game of this series, the first game of the doubleheader yesterday. Heading into the 7th, SEMO was down 8-6. Bottom of the 7th as Camden Hutton walks. SEMO continues this inning. Brittany Falzer, who hit a home run in her last at-bat, will now come to the plate with runners on first and third. And we are going to have a pitching change. It seems like Dan Paulson talking to Blue. You see the infield of the Panthers gathering up. Paulson looking to make this substitution. And you see who's coming in. It's none other. Well, we'll tell you when we come back. We're going to take a quick break here at the Southeast Softball Complex. You're watching OVC Softball on ESPN+. And we are back at the Southeast Softball Complex, home of the Red Hawks. We're going to have a new pitcher. It's going to be Brianna French into the game. We're familiar with her. She pitched in both games yesterday. Up to bat for SEMO will be Brittany Falter, and in Falter's last at-bat, we're just going to show you a replay to show you what Falter did in her last at-bat. She took the pitcher, Carly McKenzie, deep, and it went off of the scoreboard here at the Southeast Softball Complex. I didn't even realize that when she hit the scoreboard, it was Camden Hutton who was on the scoreboard. She hit it, and it flipped to herself, Brittany Falter. That's a pretty cool look at that. Falter now with an 0-0 count, and Brianna French comes fire, and it now be an 0-1 count. Yesterday in the first game, in which SEMO won 9-8, Brianna French came in, pitched 2 innings, and allowed 6 runs in the 6th and the 7th inning. SEMO scored 6 runs, 3 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, and that is how SEMO ended up getting the win. It was against Brianna French. Only 3 of those runs were earned. We were talking about it before the break. SEMO ended up winning on a throwing error from the shortstop, who overthrew the first basewoman, and then that's how Lily Delmain of SEMO was able to score the 9th and winning run of the game. Brianna French also came in relief. She has not started this weekend. She came in relief in the second game yesterday as well. Came in for relief in game 2, pitched 2.1 innings, and only allowed 1 hit herself, not a single run given up. Struck out 2 and had 4 groundouts. So, Brianna French, not a great outing in her first outing this weekend, but a fantastic one in her second. She's trying to follow suit of that. SEMO, with 1 run scored this inning, has a runner, Madison Winkler, on second, and a runner on first. Falter rips this ball, and it's going to get past Abby Hatton at first base. It's going to score at least 1. Winkler gets home, and it looks like that's going to be 4-3 SEMO's way. Abby Hatton at first base was pointing to the field nearly immediately when something happened. And we're going to need an overhead look to see what Abby Hatton and what the coaches, Abby Hatton there, clearly said something happened. Dan Paulson, you can almost guarantee that Paulson is talking to the umpires. We're looking at that play. Falter got the ball past Abby Hatton, but it went past her glove immediately. Maybe she was pointing at the base runner, looking for an interference call. So next time we watch that replay, we're going to watch who was on first base for SEMO, and we're going to see just if she did interfere with Hatton at first base. If the call on the field stands, it'll be 4-3 SEMO's way. So watch. Runner on first is Camden Hutton. Did she interfere? Did she hit the ball, or was she just running and it just messed Hatton up? That's the question. Did it hit? Wow, that's close. Did it hit Hutton on the foot? I mean, that is really close. If it did hit Camden Hutton on the foot, I believe she will be called out and the inning will end. So maybe that's why Hatton messed up on the ground ball. If it did hit Camden Hutton on the foot, that clearly could have ricocheted and moved into right field. But that softball doesn't look like it ricocheted that much. It could have just hit a weird spot in the dirt. We saw yesterday a couple ground ball errors were caused just because of lips in the infield. We're not playing on turf here. It's grass. You could have, I don't know, the ball could hit a sunflower seed even and just popped up in a weird angle that it doesn't before. We don't know. We do know that we're reviewing the play on the field right now. Brittany Falter on first. If it'll stand, we just don't know. We really just don't know what could be going on. We're going to take one more look at that replay. The question is if Camden Hutton interfered with the ball on first base. Brittany Falter ripped it over to first. Here's a slowed down look at it. Hutton leaves first. The ball goes past her, or does it? That's what we're wondering here. Did she interfere with it? And potentially she could have, but potentially she could have not. Abby Hatton, you see the point from the first basewoman for Eastern Illinois. She immediately said that Hutton hit it, so that definitely goes in Eastern Illinois' favor. If the refs, or if the umpires, were to want to overturn this, you at least know that Eastern Illinois was confident in the call. So it'll be 3-3 if the call is overturned and Eastern Illinois records the third out. If it's not overturned, if it stands, then SEMO takes the lead by a score of 4-3 thanks to Brittany Falter. You just don't know yet. It's going to take a minute. We talked about it earlier. These guys have different camera angles than we have here at the ESPN Plus production station. We have 3 different camera angles that we can give you. They have 6 that they can look at just in case they need to. They got cameras pointed at every single base, so you hope if you're the umpires that the camera pointed at the first baseline was in a way that you could see if Hutton maybe hit it, maybe didn't. The review is a lengthy one in this game so far. Brittany Affolter, who's standing on first, the question, she just hit the ball. The question is if she hit it off of Hutton or if Hatton just missed the ground ball. Affolter is the reason for some of SEMO's runs. She hit a solo shot, which went off of that scoreboard, which is out there in a right center field that you can see right now. You got Lily Delmain's picture up there. She will be the next batter to be faced if we continue playing. Once again, if the ball did hit Camden Hutton, we won't continue playing the bottom of the 4th. We'll move on to the 5th with a score of 3-3. Here comes the umpires. The long-awaited call. Did the ball hit Camden Hutton? And it did not. No interference will be called. Brittany Affolter, an RBI single, another RBI to her name. Now Lily Delmain will be up to bat. SEMO up 4-3, and Coach Mark Redburn, as if we didn't have enough time to talk before, is going to bring in his runners to talk and maybe have some strategy going on. You got runners on first and third now, and with Delmain up, that just causes miscommunication between defenses. Does the runner on first, does she steal? Does the catcher, Sophia Ullman for Eastern Illinois, throw all the way to second? Does the throw get cut off? There's many variables that could occur with runners on first and third, and so you just have to pay attention to that. That's why Redburn wanted to gather them up. Brianna French, in her quick relief, has earned 1 out and has also given up a run. It will probably go down in the stat sheets, since we'll say it wasn't off of Camden Hutton. It'll go down as an error against Abby Hatton at first base. Here's the first pitch to Lily Delmain. It'll go in for a ball, a 1-0 count to the freshman. Delmain hitting .306 so far on the season. Fantastic, fantastic numbers for a player. Even better numbers considering it's her first year at the collegiate level. Delmain squares the bunt. She won't place it, though. Affolter still on first base. Camden Hutton, the runner, at third. SEMO leads 4-3. Delmain squaring bunt again. She'll pull it back this time. French tried to throw it low. You see the steal from Brittany Affolter. You saw Sophia Ullman, the catcher for Eastern Illinois, throw the ball hard. She got up and threw it like she was going to throw it down to second base. That's their variation of trying to trick SEMO into making a base running error. You could have seen her try and throw it to the shortstop. The shortstop could have cut it off. You could have seen her try to throw it to the third baseman. We saw that yesterday once. There's just lots of different situations where you can try and trick the defense. Delmain flies into center field, and Maribeth Dyson is able to track it down. For SEMO, though, they do get on the board and they take the lead. It's Redhawks 4, Panthers 3. We'll see you in the top of the 5th. You're watching OVC Softball on ESPN+.
Are you ready to take your money to new heights? Get a flexible high-yield checking account that lets you customize your interest rate so you can keep your finances headed in the right direction. With Elevate Checking from United Fidelity Bank, you're in control of how much you earn. You can raise your rate with a few easy steps. Get more ways to earn more with Elevate Checking and start earning 4.00% APY. Learn more at unitedfidelity.com/elevate or visit your local banking center.
In Kentucky, we're moving forward together. Our businesses are winning, and our families are thriving. Because Kentucky is a place where business is fast, but the pace of life is just right. Now, we're looking at a new Kentucky, one where good jobs and a good life are possible for everyone. Y'all interested? We don't blame you. So come explore your new Kentucky home.
We are back here in the top of the fifth inning. Elliot Stinson still on the mound for the Red Hawks. It's Viola Smith to bat for Eastern Illinois. We saw a couple innings ago. She came in, she substituted for Chloe Wambolt at the shortstop position. Smith has since stayed in the game. We are looking at a replay from SEMO's steal. You saw Brittany falter there in the base pad. Thought that Sophia Ullman might have thrown down, tried to get in a pickle there so that SEMO could score. And now we are back to live ball game. Elliot Stinson pitching to Viola Smith. Just a pitch to Smith. She clobbers it into left field, and it seems like it's going to be caught by the Red Hawks. A crazy effort by one of the Red Hawks. We're going to need to look at a replay on that. We did miss the angle. We apologize for that, but don't worry, we will show you it. You see the celebrations from the SEMO team. That had to be a cool catch. You can almost guarantee it was by how excited they got. Prediction, it was Addie Martini. Could have been Sydney Miles. Could have been Brittany Falter and left. It was one of the three. Once again, we'll show you that replay when we grab it. Lizzie Stuyvesant up to bat now for the Panthers. It's a 1-0 count to Stuyvesant. Viola Smith was the first batter who popped out to the left side of either the infield or the shallow outfield. High heat to Stuyvesant. She misses that one. And here's the look at Viola Smith's pop-up. Addie Martini, no way she caught that. Wow. What an effort. Holy goodness. No wonder SEMO was excited about that. We do apologize for missing that catch from Martini. And I apologize for getting so excited about that. I apologize to absolutely nobody. Addie Martini, what a play. My goodness, we're going to take another look at that after this next pitch here. Here, we're going to look at it right now. Viola Smith pops up. Addie Martini, full body extension. Wow, Sports Center, top 10. Send it in right now. Addie Martini. I'm speechless. Addie Martini does it again. Still a 3-1 count here now to the runner. She's going to hit that ball. It's flew out into left field, and it's going to be caught by Brittany Falter. It was Lizzie Stuyvesant, and Brittany Falter out there in left making it happen. 2 down for SEMO. Let's go ahead and look at that Addie Martini catch just one more time. I'm sorry, you guys, but what a catch. She full body extended it. We missed it on broadcast, so we'll show it to you 3 more times. Addie Martini, my goodness. 1-0 count to Alicia Frederick, who's up to bat right now for the Eastern Illinois Panthers. SEMO with a 4-3 lead here. Frederick pops this softball up. SEMO is going to get out of the top of the 5th quickly. 3 up, 3 down for the Red Hawks. We'll see you in the bottom frame. You're watching OVC Softball on ESPN+. We welcome you back into the Southeast Softball Complex. SEMO most recently took a 4-3 lead in the bottom of the fourth. In the top of the fifth, Eastern Illinois went 3 up, 3 down. It's Brianna French still on the mound for the Panthers. Aubrey Shore up to bat for SEMO. It'll be Aubrey Shore, Gracie Luna on deck, and Sydney Miles in the hole. Aubrey Shore did miss the entirety of last season with the Redhawks, but she's now been here technically 5 years. Last year, granted a medical hardship, extra year of playing since she did injure her back last year, missed the entire year. She was granted that extra year eligibility to play her senior season here in a Redhawks uniform. She's been here since she committed as a senior in high school, been here all 4 years of her collegiate career, even won OVC Player of the Year in a Redhawks uniform. Just before this season, she was named one of the Ohio Valley Conference's players to watch. Now Shore faces a 2-1 count. She's 1 for 1 today already. Has an RBI. Shore is going to rip this softball. It's going to go right to Viola Smith at shortstop. Looked like it might have gone over the head of her, but Viola Smith reacted quickly and well. So Brianna French retires Aubrey Shore. Gracie Luna is now the next batter that she will face. Gracie Luna so far this season has an average of .225. Gracie Luna also has 2 home runs this season. She's tied for the lead. There are a couple of players on this roster, I should say a few, tied with 2. Lily Blago has 2 home runs. Madison Winkler has 2 home runs. Gracie Luna has 2 home runs, and she's going to single into left field, just pierces the defense, gets in between the third basewoman, Stuyvesant, and the shortstop, Smith. So Gracie Luna, a successful single. She's got 2 home runs. Reagan Brannon also has 2 home runs on the year. She hit her second one just yesterday. And now, let me not forget, Brittany Afalter also has 2 home runs on the day, on the season. She hit her second one today earlier. And here's the look at the angle of Gracie Luna. Nice swing that Luna has, able to make it the first pretty easily. It'll be Reagan Brannon on deck. It will be Addie Martini in the hole. Up to bat is Sydney Miles for SEMO. The delivery from French. Miles squares the bunt. We're going to have a steal, and it looks like our pinch runner, I think it was Kaylin Yamnitz. No, it was Jasmine Mano, is caught stealing. So Aubrey Shore pops out in her first at-bat. Gracie Luna singles in her at-bat, gets pinch ran for by Jasmine Mano, and Mano is thrown out on the steal by Sophia Ullman. What a toss, what a tag. Smith with the quick, electrifying tag. That was a super quick tag. Let's go ahead and take a look at that replay of the throwdown of the catcher throwing down the steal one more time, just to show off that tag from Viola Smith. It was an even better throw by Sophia Ullman, right on target. But look at this tag from Smith as we look at this replay. Smith, boom! I mean, she puts that tag right on the foot of Jasmine Mano. Viola Smith, a freshman shortstop for Eastern Illinois, only in her 3rd inning of shortstop this weekend, but she's doing a very, very good job. We see a mound meeting for Eastern Illinois currently. The infield now gathering around Brianna French for SEMO. I think it's still going to be Sydney Miles up. I don't know exactly why we are having a stoppage right now. Maybe we have a coach talking to an umpire. Maybe we have a review going on. So it looks like we do have a review going on, and the reason I know that is because I cannot see a single umpire on the field. So you see the umpire who made the call Sir right there in the hat now behind third base. We explained it earlier how the replays work. He made the call on the field, so he may not be the one to make the final say in the instant replay booth. The other umpires who did not make the call that's being challenged are the ones to check on instant replay. So the call on the field was that Jasmine Mano was caught stealing. We are reviewing to see if she was safe, and only time will tell. Brianna French on the bump right now for Eastern Illinois. French has been seen twice. We've seen her in both matchups earlier when these two teams played, and now we're seeing her for the third straight game. Brianna French now in her 28th appearance this season. She's only started 6 times. She really does come in predominantly as their number one reliever. In 27 previous appearances, this one today is her 28th, she has a 4.43 ERA. It goes for best on the squad. We're looking at this replay really quick. There's that tag from Viola Smith, shows that she's got the ball. And I think that the call on the field is going to be confirmed. Obviously, we don't know. We will wait until the umpires rule their discretion. But in my professional, semi-professional broadcasting opinion, I think that Smith got that tag on Mano just in time. So we'll have 2 outs here at the Southeast Softball Complex. Brianna French, 7-6 in those 27 appearances. And here's the call on the field from our umpire. And you see that signal that he just held up, the universal out signal. Jasmine Mano was caught stealing. It'll be Sydney Miles still mid-at-bat, even though the runner was caught stealing during her at-bat. It doesn't ruin her at-bat or anything like that. Let's say there was 2 outs and Mano was caught stealing to be the third out. Sydney Miles would have a fresh count when she came up to bat the next inning. If the inning ended while she was up to bat, she would still get another at-bat. But since the inning doesn't end, she doesn't get a fresh count. It's now 0-2. Brianna French's last pitch, lots of drop on that pitch. Over at the baseball facility, they have a thing called TrackMan. It's the thing that all the MLB teams uses. SEMO now part of that as Sydney Miles pops out into left. TrackMan wouldn't have been able to tell us how far that pitch dropped by Brianna French is all I was getting at. SEMO still leads 4-3, heading to the top of the 6th. You're watching OVC Softball on ESPN+. And we welcome you right back into the Southeast Softball Complex. Elliot Stinson currently on the mound for the Redhawks. Up to bat, it's none other than Abby Hatton for Eastern Illinois. SEMO leads this ball game 4-3. This was the final score of the second game yesterday. Yesterday, These two teams matched up in a doubleheader in the OVC in collegiate softball. In conference games are series, typically weekend series, as this weekend is. Doubleheader was yesterday. Single game is today. SEMO currently leads 4-3. Abby Hatton up to bat. Hatton doing a pretty good job of hitting, you could say, so far this season. Has a .282 batting average as she rips this softball into left field. Will it be over the head of Brittany Falter? Yes, it will. Abby Hatton, the second home run of the weekend for Hatton. Her dad, Vern Hatton, has the record for most triples in a SEMO baseball season. Abby Hatton has now homered at SEMO twice this weekend, but it ain't in a SEMO uniform. It's in a Panthers uniform. Eastern Illinois ties the ball game up 4-4 thanks to this Oppo taco shot from Abby Hatton. Wow, what a shot from Hatton. She just continues to be great. Pretty great job of hitting for Hatton. You can most definitely say after that at-bat, what a strike. Eastern Illinois down 1 run, comes back and ties it up. It is now a 4-4 ball game. SEMO has not recorded an out. Sophia Ullman now faces an 0-2 count. Ullman has also homered this series. She homered in the exact same game that Abby Hatton had previously homered in. Here's the look at the little lineup that Hatton got after she hit that home run. You gotta love to see that. Sophia Ullman also hit a solo shot in the 9-8 first match yesterday that SEMO ended up winning, but Ullman, one of the reasons why Eastern Illinois was able to score 8 of those runs. Abby Hatton, obviously another reason, and one of the reasons why they're up to 4 today. Ullman trying to follow suit of her teammate. Now a 2-2 count to Ullman. Ullman, a junior from South Elgin, Illinois. Here's the rip from Ullman, right down the base pad. Dan Paulson getting out of the way. Sophia Ullman earlier this season was the official OVC Player of the Week. It was the week of March 23rd, their spring break week. She was named the OVC Player of the Week after their spring break week because in 4 games over that week, she recorded 10 RBIs. So we got a reigning OVC Player of the Week from this season up to bat right now. Now a full count for Ullman. No runners on since Abby Hatton, the first batter of this inning, took Elliott Stinson deep. Ullman looking to do the same. This ball going into deep right field, and she's going to do just that. Sophia Ullman, her second home run of the series, follows Abby Hatton. Eastern Illinois has took the lead 5-4. Wow, what a couple of batters for the Panthers. SEMO comes into the top of the 6th up by 1 with a score of 4-3. Or excuse me, it was 4-3. Now Eastern Illinois takes the lead 5-4. Abby Hatton comes in and takes Elliott Stinson deep. Then Sophia Ullman is up to bat and takes Elliott Stinson deep. We're going to have a pitching change, and we'll let you know who it is when we come back. Eastern Illinois 5, SEMO 4. You're watching OVC Softball on ESPN+. We welcome you back into the Southeast Softball Complex. In the first game of this series, Maddie Carney started. She threw the first 3 innings and then came back in the 7th inning to close the ball game. Well, today, Maddie Carney started. She threw 2.1 innings before being replaced by Willow Van Haren, and now Carney is back into the ball game. This first pitch that she sees is rifled right off of her legs. We're going to have to check and make sure that Maddie Carney is okay. She's giving her teammates some nods. So the very first pitch that Mo Hance sees from Maddie Carney in the 6th inning, not even the first pitch that she's seen from Carney today, is rifled right back at her. Maddie Carney gives up the single to Mo Hance. Eastern Illinois now 3 for 3 in 3 at-bats this inning. Coach Redburn checking on his pitcher. The girl who's already started this ball game, now back into the game, gets hit in the legs with a baseball, or with a softball right off of the bat of Mo Hance. I don't know how fast it was hit, but it was hit right back at Carney. Carney seems to be okay. We'll take a quick look at that. Yeah, it just went right off of one part of her legs. Not able to make the play. SEMO with no outs and a runner on first now faces Lexi Griffin. If SEMO can somehow come back now, they were up 4-3 here before the top of the 6th. Now with still no outs recorded, down 5-4. If SEMO would somehow come back after all of this fiasco, you got to give a huge shout out to Maddie Carney. I mean, she pitched twice in the first game that they won. Came in the 7th inning after starting the game as Griffin grounds over to first base, but it will be foul. Carney in the first game, which SEMO won 9-8, came in and pitched in the 7th inning. Eastern Illinois was up 8-6, and she held them 8-6. No hits, no runs when she came in that 7th inning. And then SEMO scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th and won the game. Here today, Carney pitched 2.1 innings already, and now she's back. A bunt laid down by Lexi Griffin is fielded by Miles barehandedly and thrown over to first. But Lexi Griffin, not necessarily known for her speed, able to beat the throw out. And so now with no outs, SEMO is in a tough position, runner in scoring position. Lexi Griffin on first. And now you got Mo Hance on second. Dan Paulson going to take a timeout here. SEMO's catcher Gracie Luna will head up to the mound to talk. Dan Paulson taking a moment to talk to his hitter, Maribeth Dyson, but really it looks like he's taking a moment to talk to his assistant coach. Here is the running out bunt by Lexi Griffin. Just put her head down and took what the defense gave her. It was a great placed bunt. It was really good defense by Sydney Miles to... I'm gonna do a St. Louis comparison, even though he's not in St. Louis anymore. The bunt played, she Nolan Arenado-esque bare hands the ball and nearly throws out Griffin, but just can't do so in time. Paulson now walking back to his spot at third base coach after talking to his assistant, Denise Godwin. Eastern Illinois also assisted by Hallie Mitchell. It's her first season as an assistant coach. Last season, she was playing softball at the University of Kentucky, now assisting at Eastern Illinois. And then obviously you got the co-head coaches, Christy and Dan Paulson. For SEMO, it's Mark Redburn, assisted by Kristen Jones and Mark Wallen. And now we have Maddie Carney with an 0-1 count. Pitches in the dirt, but Gracie Luna able to scoop the ball and save runners from advancing. 2-0 count. Maddie Carney faces Maribeth Dyson. Dyson chops it to Sydney Miles, nearly another bunt, and it works just as a bunt. Nearly the exact same spot that the bunt off the bat of Lexi Griffin went. Sydney Miles forced to field another ball, and SEMO unable to record an out. Don't forget, this inning started with 2 solo home runs. Abby Hatton started it off. Sophia Ullman followed it up. And SEMO has not recorded an out. Eastern Illinois has hit 6 straight batters, and now they're looking to continue that. Maddox Marshall up at the deck, or up to bat right now. The pitch to Marshall. She didn't like it. It was just a little bit low. We're taking a quick look at Maribeth Dyson's swing, working effectively as a bunt. She was so fast. She's their center fielder, able to beat that infield single out, and nobody else was able to be picked off. So Sydney Miles was forced to just eat that ball. Maddox Marshall now fouls the ball off. It'll be a 1-2 count to Marshall. Here is the 1-2 delivery from Carney. Marshall strikes out looking. Maddie Carney, a strikeout pitcher, earns another one, so she will knock out her first batter of the day. Elliott Stinson started this inning off, gave up 2 home runs and a couple of hits. So Coach Mark Redburn brought in his starter from earlier in today's game, Maddie Carney, back into the game. Carney now earns a strikeout. And this ball, it considered a pass ball, but Gracie Luna knocked it down and kept it in front of her enough to where the base runners did not want to advance. Viola Smith up to bat right now. The freshman came in substitute for Chloe Wamble and has been in since. Smith 0-1 in her at bat earlier, but in that 0-1, she did earn herself an RBI, so she did a job. Eastern Illinois up 5-4 here in the top of the 6th. Bases loaded. Here's the 1-1 delivery from Carney. And she finds the zone. 1-2 now to Viola Smith, who's from Rockford, Illinois. Went to Jefferson High School. Now here at Eastern Illinois. Viola Smith, the first Jefferson athlete to commit to a Division I softball program in over 4 years now. Grounds out to third, and they're going to double her up. Sydney Miles goes home with the ball. Gracie Luna goes to first, and SEMO, although they give up a couple of home run shots with no outs and the bases loaded, don't lose anything else. Eastern Illinois 5, SEMO 4. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in the top of the 7th, or the bottom of the 6th. Excuse me. You're watching OVC softball on ESPN+.
Hey girls, swung the new mantra yet?
No, but I heard that bat is insane.
Y'all want to swing for it?
Yeah, we do, but we know how that went last time.
Yeah.
Let's go, girls. Come on. Man, y'all can stand on your own. I guess I'll give you a couple.
We'll actually take 4.
Mantra, power on repeat.
Ready for a local getaway that feels like a world of its own? Escape the ordinary and discover the charm of Southern Illinois. With local wineries, live concerts, farmers markets, and scenic trails to explore, there's an adventure tailored for every taste bud and passion. Our breathtaking lakes offer endless possibilities for adventure. Rent boats, jet skis, or kayaks, and explore our world. Visit Southern Illinois. Start your adventure today.
What's it like to be a student athlete in the OVC? We rise to challenges and challenge others to rise with us. We show respect. We lead by example. In the OVC, we become champions on and off the field. That's OVC Sports, and you've got to OVC it.
Welcome back into the Southeast Softball Complex. We're taking a quick look at how this inning ended. Great look at how Sydney Miles threw out the play at home. Gracie Luna then throws to first. Aubrey Short able to make the play. great look at that replay, man. Shout out to our ESPN crew here. Great look at that, man. Eastern Illinois now keeps the lead 5-4. They started that last inning off with 2 solo home runs and then loaded the bases with no outs. But Maddie Carney, the starter for SEMO, comes back into the game and is able to get them out of the jam. But as you know, SEMO beat Eastern Illinois in the last 2 games by only 1 run. So Eastern Illinois being up by 1 right now, absolutely huge. SEMO going to have to work this inning and the next to earn that run back. Reagan Brannon up to bat for the Redhawks now, faces a 1-1 count. Brianna French still on the bump. It'll be a 2-1 count for Brannon. Brannon has hit a double in today's game already. She's 1 for 2 with that 1 double. She also hit a home run in yesterday's second game of the doubleheader, hit a 2-run shot, pulled the ball. It was into deep left field, right down the line. Brannon rips this softball right to Viola Smith at shortstop. She was ready for that one and makes the play. Eastern Illinois has recorded an out, and now for SEMO, it'll be we will have a substitution. It looks like it's going to be Lily Blago into bat. Addie Martini subbed out. Although Martini is not going to hit, we do need to talk about how good Addie Martini is on the defensive side of the ball. Let's go ahead and take a replay of the last Addie Martini diving catch from the shortstop position. This was a couple innings ago when Addie Martini was able to make a diving stop. She is being subbed out right now, but look at this play. Off the bat of Viola Smith, Addie Martini, full body extension, was able to make the play. Now subbed out hitting-wise for Lily Blago. Blago hitting from the left side. We talked about it earlier. She's got 2 home runs on the year. She's coming to this at-bat hitting .250. She's going to have to get SEMO started here in the bottom of the 6th if they want to win this game. Here's a delivery from French. Blago watches it go low. It'll be a 1-1 count. The pitch to Blago. Blago rips it down the line. Abby Hatton bobbles it and dives to the base. She just jumbled that ball up a little bit, had it to dive to make sure she got the out. You got to do what you got to do. Doesn't matter how it looks. She recorded the out for Eastern Illinois. They're 1 out closer into the top of the 7th. SEMO now with 2 outs. They will have Madison Winkler up to bat. The first pitch to Winkler will drop in for a ball. 1-0 count. Madison Winkler hails from Crofton, Kentucky. Watches this pitch go. It'll be a 2-0 count for the Louisville transfer. After graduating from Christian County High School, committed to Louisville University. You might have heard of it a time or two before. The Atlantic Coast Conference member, the ACC, in other words, holds teams like Clemson, holds teams like Duke, holds teams like Louisville. Winkler played 2 years there, her freshman and sophomore years. As a junior, transfers to SEMO, and last year, in her first year with the program, as she fouls this softball off, it'll be a 2-2 count now to Madison Winkler. Last year, her first year at SEMO, earns herself all OVC team. She started 44 games last year, 44 of them all in right field. She led the team in stolen bases with 14, had a .986 fielding percentage in right field. So she really is a great outfielder, as she now has a full count. It's 3-2 to Winkler. She just had a really, really good year last year, which obviously earned her all OVC first team. Now Winkler, strong start to this year, played most of the front half of the season in center field. Winkler now fouls this ball off again. Actually, through 18 games, Winkler was the only player to start every game this season at the same position. Now, Addie Martini also has started every game this season up until that 18-game point as well, but she had played some at third and some at shortstop. Winkler, first 18 games of the season were all at center field. She will walk. That has since changed. Winkler has moved back into right field where she played all of last year, so she's clearly comfortable in that spot. Now up will be Camden Hutton for SEMO, and this is a situation that Mark Redburn changed the lineup for exactly. Earlier in the season, you saw Winkler and Hutton being the number 1 and number 2 batters for SEMO pretty consistently. Winkler was actually the leadoff batter for a majority of the season. Since Winkler has moved down in the lineup, and Hutton has fluctuated across the lineup. This weekend, though, Hutton has been the clear leadoff hitter. She's bat leadoff in all 3 games. Winkler has hit 9th in all 3 games. It's a strategy, though. Even though Winkler and Hutton aren't hitting 1 and 2 anymore, they're still batting after each other. It's a great duo between Hutton and Winkler, and Redburn likes to string them together. Now in a situation in the bottom of the 6th where SEMO has the bottom of the lineup go into the top, it's going to be great if you can have Madison Winkler and Camden Hutton hitting back-to-back. Winkler with 2 outs, reached on. She got first. She reached with a walk. Hutton looking to reach on base in some sort of way. Madison Winkler now steals second base. The throw from Sophia Ullman was there, but it just wasn't in time. The speedster Winkler with a successful and dangerous 2-out steal now for Camden Hutton with a 1-1 count. There's a runner in scoring position. Here's the 1-2 delivery to Camden Hutton. Here's the pitch from French. Hutton watches his pitch in for a strike. It is now a 2-2 count. Excuse me, it was a 2-1 count before, now a 2-2 count. Here's a look at that steal attempt from Madison Winkler. Good throw by Sophia Ullman, but Winkler, a speedster, just able to get in there safely. 2-2 count now to Camden Hutton. Hutton swings, and it is tipped and caught by Ullman behind the plate. That's going to be it for the bottom of the 6th. Eastern Illinois with another chance to stack some runs. You're watching OVC Softball on ESPN+. We welcome you back into the Southeast Softball Complex. Maddie Carney on the bump for the second appearance of the day. Lizzie Stuyverson, the lead-off hitter for EIU, getting it started. It's the top of the 7th. And it looks like we just started this ball game off. This matchup has already happened, especially this was the first matchup of the game. Maddie Carney started the game. Lizzie Stuyvesant, the lead-off batter for the Panthers. Carney has since left the game and returned, now facing the top of the lineup. Stuyvesant takes this ball into right field. It's going to be at least a double. Extra bases for Stuyvesant. Gets the top of the 7th started for Eastern Illinois. Now, Stuyvesant, in her very first at-bat, the one that we were just talking about, how she started this game off right, she hit the ball to nearly the exact same spot that she did just hit it. Alicia Frederick now up to bat, and Stuyvesant doing her signature 4-point stance over there at second base. Frederick grounds over to Hutton, who fields it and plays it cleanly to Aubrey Shore, but Alicia Frederick does a job. She moves the runner over from second to third. Here's a look at this hit from Stuyvesant. Sends it deep into right center field in between Delmain, and Winkler. Now, Stuyvesant in her first at-bat did hit the ball over there, but it was robbed by Lily Delmain. Now a wild pitch by Maddie Carney is going to allow Lizzie Stuyvesant to score. She started this inning off with a double, and now just a couple of pitches later is in to score, and no other base runners have been added. That's a huge shout-out to Alicia Frederick for moving her over there, and then good heads-up base running for Stuyvesant. Now a 2-run lead for Eastern Illinois, and Abby Hatton is up to bat. Now a 2-0 count. Hatton did take Elliott Stinson deep for the second time this weekend. She has homered off Elliott Stinson twice. She's homered off SEMO twice, but it was the same pitcher. She now grounds over to Camden Hutton. Hatton is retired by Hutton, but Abby Hatton did have a home run in her last at-bat. Here in this at-bat, the first pitch she saw was a wild pitch, which helped Lizzie Stuyvesant to score. That's how we got the 6-4 score. So now 2 runs is the lead for Eastern Illinois. Sophia Ullman up to bat. She also had a solo homer in her last at-bat. Now flies out to Lily Delmain. 1 run scored for the Panthers. SEMO, bottom of the 7th. Can they do it again? Only time will tell. You're watching OVC Softball. Don't go anywhere on ESPN+. We welcome you back into the Southeast Softball Complex. Bottom of the 7th inning. Can SEMO have another comeback? We are about to find out. Brianna French in the circle, I should say. Brittany Afalter up to bat for the Redhawks. No outs. Here's the first pitch to Afalter. She'll watch it go for a ball. Afalter today is 2 for 3 with an RBI. And that RBI comes from the solo home run that she had earlier in the game. She hit it off of the scoreboard What a hit of Falter had earlier. She had a couple sack flies earlier in this series, and now she starts her at bat off with a hit. Clean up the middle for a Falter. Gets off the glove of Smith at shortstop, but that softball was hit so hard, Smith had no chance at it. What a start for SEMO. And here's a Falter's last at-bat in which she did hit it off of the scoreboard in that home run, which gave SEMO some runs. Now Lily Delmain up to bat. SEMO in the first game of the doubleheader yesterday was down 8-6. They were down 2 runs heading into the bottom of the 7th. Then in the bottom of the 7th, scored 3 runs, including a walk-off single by Lily Delmain. A throwing error by the shortstop of Eastern Illinois caused 2 runs to score, and SEMO won 9-8 in that first doubleheader matchup. Now Delmain hits it over to Stuyvesant. Stuyvesant bobbles, but is still able to stick with the play and retire Delmain. Lizzie Stuyvesant is a fantastic defensive player. And we have some sort of mishap going on the field, some communication. Brittany Falter, who is on second, is trotting back. Was that a double play? Did Stuyvesant catch the ball and then throw to first and double up a Falter instead of just getting Delmain out? I actually think that is exactly what happened. So 2 outs recorded here in the bottom of the 7th. SEMO robbed off of the glove of Lizzie Stuyvesant. Stuyvesant has been making plays all day, and she does so just when the time is right. Literally couldn't have asked for a better time. Lizzie Stuyvesant making it happen over there at third base. She transferred from Illinois State last year, now here at Eastern Illinois, making an impact. She robbed SEMO of not only one base runner in Lily Delmain, who was hitting, she robbed SEMO of their other base runner, Brittany Falter, who was already on base. She doubled him up single-handedly. So SEMO down 2 now in the bottom of the 7th with only 1 out to give. Yeah, so she caught the ball off the glove of Delmain, or off the bat of Delmain. It hit the glove of Stuyvesant, popped right back up in the air. She caught it and then doubled off Brittany Falter. Just an unfortunate situation if you're a Redhawks fan. If you're an Eastern Illinois Panthers fan, the most fortunate situation you could ask for. This is actually the 100th matchup all time between these two schools. Yesterday was the 98th and 99th. SEMO, 55 and 43 all time against Eastern Illinois. One more time, SEMO is 55 and 43 against Eastern Illinois all time. Eastern Illinois looking to make that 43 of 44 and add another OVC win to their record here. One more out to record if they want it, but in the meantime, Brianna French is going to walk Aubrey Shore. So SEMO, fresh off of losing a base runner, is going to get another one. And will that be just what the Redhawks needed? Gracie Luna now comes to bat. Tying runner up to bat currently. Aubrey Shore on first base. And Brianna French still dealing for the Panthers. Brianna French so far this season has pitched, now this is before today's game. So far, before she entered today's game, has pitched 80 innings. That goes for second most on this squad. She struck out 55 people. She's only walked 46. First pitch to Gracie Luna goes for a ball. Aubrey Shore still on first base. Here's the 1-0 delivery to the junior from Peoria, Illinois. Luna watches this pitch go high. Two-0 delivery to Gracie Luna is going to find the zone. It'll be 2-1. Shore still on first base. 2 outs recorded Eastern Illinois 1 out away from stealing one game in the series. SEMO, though, after winning both games yesterday, technically has won the series. Luna grounds out to Smith at shortstop, bobbles it, but makes the play. That is going to do it. The Eastern Illinois Panthers overcome the defensive star plays of the Redhawks and are going to do it. Eastern Illinois 6, SEMO 4. They win today's game, but SEMO wins the series 2-1. Today, the largest run differential out of all three games, and it was only 2. Yesterday's games each finished with a run differential of 1 each. And today, Eastern Illinois takes the win 6-4. Lots of different players, lots of different girls had great games today. As a team, Eastern Illinois had a .364 batting average in this game. We're going to take a look at some of our game highlights. There's Lily Delmain starting this game off with a diving catch in center field. SEMO was able to make some other plays in the outfield, make some defensive things happen. You had Addie Martini, I'm sure we'll see the clip later in this playlist, make some diving efforts by the shortstop position. You had hitters like Brittany Falter getting SEMO on the board, taking the pitchers deep, even hitting some celebrations as they come to the dugout. You see players getting steals. That's Kaylin Yamnitz getting the third and then scoring on the throwing error. So SEMO did it all, including defensive madness. Look at Addie Martini laying out to make that play. Abby Hatton and Sophia Ullman ended up getting it done for the Panthers, though. 2 solo shots in the 5th inning is how Eastern Illinois is going to end up getting this win. Here are those 2 home runs from Ullman and Hatton, and then SEMO had the bases loaded in the 6th. They could have gave up more runs to Eastern Illinois. They didn't give up more, but then the defensive madness of Lizzie Stiverson and the rest of the Panthers get it done for Eastern Illinois. My name's Kyler Messenger, bringing you the play-by-play this weekend. If you enjoyed it, I hope you did. You can check me out on my pages, Kyler the Messenger. You can also tune in to SEMO softball every single home game, and we'll be broadcasting. Kyler Messenger saying so long from the Southeast Softball Complex in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, where the final score is Eastern Illinois 6, SEMO 4. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN+.